Would you all be interested to see? Raise your hands if you're interested. Okay. I have here a sealed peanut.
You will see it only once. You will never see it. Welcome to the Brand Magic Summit, and I'm really thankful all our partners, members of the press are here today. My presentation is not very long, just about 60 slides, so I'll try and keep it as brief as possible. Let's briefly talk about what branding was then. And what branding is now. But I have a confession to make. And I'll start off with this cartoon. The man at the confession box, where he says, "Father, I have sinned," and the father with the laptop open on Facebook says, "Yes, I know." But today, when we look at it, is this what branding is all about? And I'll come to the confession in the next slide. There are a lot of misconceptions we have about branding. To us,
or what we have learned is branding is your logo, the symbol, the elements. All that is what we were taught. If you want your clients to be happy, increase the size of his logo, he'll be very happy. So we will always be under the misconception of what branding is all about. Now, why did we start with the Brand Magic Summit? What is the purpose and the idea behind this? The reasons. We did not know enough of branding. Let's face it, we don't. Because times have changed, a whole lot of things have changed, cultures have changed, brands have evolved, some have shut down. So there is still a lot of learning to be done. There are a lot of things which we have to unlearn. As I said earlier, we thought that branding was all about symbols and logos. If you look at Kodak, it was the third largest brand in the world. In 1990, they filed for bankruptcy. They lost $13 billion. Now, most of us would say, why did Kodak fail? And the most common answer would be because they did not keep up with the digital age. But look at it from a different perspective. Did they follow the branding guidelines internally? Did they have an internal branding strategy which they should have followed? Or did they follow the principles which all great brands follow? They didn't. So there are different versions, different perceptions of how we look at brands and how we perceive brands. And because we didn't know much about branding, we brought in a whole lot of partners who knew much more than us. It is always good to work with people who are knowledgeable and know better than you. The other reason why we're doing this, there are a lot of things we do for the sake of doing. We need to understand them. We need to analyze them and see where we can improve. And the major reason is the consumer of today has become very demanding, very pushy. It's no longer putting your product up on the market shelves. It doesn't work anymore. So putting all this together, we wanted to bring in international branding experts who could share their knowledge and experience of branding with us. And one thing we were very clear of, Mauritius is a small place, it's a tiny island, a lot of agencies who work over here. Our idea was to bring in speakers who would share their knowledge, come and have a good holiday, and then fly off with good memories. And not go around looking for clients in Mauritius. To do a recap of last year, this was the first brand summit we started. We had 5 international speakers. 2 were from Google. One was from luxury branding, Pierre Schmidt. We had Shuvit Roy from Unibrands. Alvin from DDB Naga. And Tio, who came in from Romania. So it was the first attempt which we did, and there was a lot of learning which we gathered. And we decided then to start off with the second event summit. We call it the magic of branding. And we've had the privilege and honor of working with Priyan. So they have been responsible for the creatives you see and will be seeing in the coming days. Now, why the magic of branding? To me, branding is magic. My first experience with branding was when I was 18 years old. I was studying in India and I came back to Nepal for the holidays. I'm from Nepal. I was walking in a marketplace and I saw a man selling roundels of soap, washing soap, for 5 rupees. 50 meters down the road, there was another guy selling the same soap. What he had done is, he had put cellophane paper around it and called it Kamla. And he was selling it for 10 rupees. Guess which soap was selling more? The 10 rupees. The product was the same. The packaging and the way he had branded it made that difference. And by strange coincidence, several years down the line, I was reading the Harvard Business Review. This example has been given there. It was one of the coincidences, it's like deja vu. So branding has intrigued me to see that why do some brands are very successful? Why do some brands just come and then fade away? And big brands, Kodak is one example. The other example, which all of you are familiar with, is Nokia. At one point in time, the largest camera company in the world was Nokia, because all your Nokia phones had cameras in it. Nokia you don't see it anymore. There are a few objectives we had in mind. The first was to provide insights to help explore brands, where we can remain consistent, strong, and relevant. Those are 3 things which all ad agencies or communications would look at. All branding companies would look at how these are the 3 main points of how I can keep my brand top of mind. The highlights of the second Brand Magic Summit would, again, as I said, sharing of knowledge and experience. We've got some very good lineup of speakers as compared to last year, who had a lot of experience in branding. We've got a very interesting panel discussion. The latest buzzword today in branding is storytelling. How does a brand tell its story? In earlier times, when I've been in advertising for the last 25 years, if you were at a discussion and you told the client who was sitting over there, listen, Mr. Raj, we should let the consumer now play around with the brand, I would have been sacked. But today, agencies and companies are handing the brands to consumers to do. For example, they say, tell us a story on our brand and we'll do it for you. So the whole plan is now changing, the way we look at brands. So in this panel discussion, we have 2 international speakers who will share their experiences on storytelling and branding, and we've got 2 local experts as well. For the first time, we will be launching the top brands of Mauritius, TNS analysis. Unfortunately, they're not here today. They're at a workshop today and tomorrow. They have been commissioned to do a study on the top 10 brands of Mauritius and what makes them special. So we will announce the 10, but there will be only, because of lack of time, we will award prizes to only the top 3 local Mauritian brands. We're not looking at international brands. So the awards have been 3 categories. We are also launching for the first time a brand book. The brand book is basically a book which will have a lot of case studies of Mauritian brands. There's Air Mauritius case study for one. We've got 2 people who we considered brands in Mauritius. One was Sasha, the other one was Jacqueline Dalle. So we got case studies on both of them. We were also looking at case studies on 2 of my favorite brands. One is Deva Dalpuri and Bona Corona ice cream. When I first came to Mauritius 12 years ago, that's the first thing I was told. You have to have your dalpuri and your ice cream in Rosin. We've got international branding experts also telling us a lot about what branding is all about. So this book will be very interesting. It will be handed over to all the delegates and sponsors. And there will be great networking opportunities. And I think because last year we had a very interesting mix of participants, and this year it will be on a much larger scale. And we will have a very interesting cocktail down there on the beach. Now the top 10 brand, TNS was supposed to just briefly talk about this, and I'll just give you a background of what this is all about. The top 10 brand, what makes them special. There will be 700 face-to-face interviews, so the sample size is quite large. And only local Mauritians, no expats, no tourists, nothing. It's only Mauritians. They'll be representative of the Mauritian population. So this is the demographics, different ethnic groups, age, gender, region, and the socio-economic class. So when the study is finished, you'll get a very clear indication of these are perceptions of what people think are the top Mauritian brands. And it'll be a good insight because a lot of us are not aware. So the fieldwork is already started and we'll finish by the end of the month. It will be out in the brand book. So look out for the brand book. Now who are the target audience for the Brand Magic Summit? This is the complete list. So it basically covers everybody interested in advertising, marketing, branding. A quick run through the speakers. These are the 5 main speakers. The first one is Anand. Anand Tilak is one of the 10 brand ambassadors of Facebook. He looks after Indonesia, which is one of the largest Facebook users in the world, and Singapore. So he's based in Singapore. He will be talking to us about storytelling at scale. And I didn't tell him. Now this is the topic he came up with, and he also said the buzzword today is storytelling. Dr. Carla Inslin, an excellent speaker and trainer. She's from the Vega School of Branding and Leadership in South Africa. And she's going to talk about building a meaningful brand, a proposed model for long-term success. Felix, some of the ad agency people may be familiar with. Great fun guy to have around. And he will be talking about technology, friend and foe. Leslie Everett is an international speaker, trainer based in the UK, but she set up offices in the US as well. She's written 3 books. Latest one was released last week on corporate branding. She'll talk about stand out in the crowd with brand me. And after the summit is over, she will also be doing a full day workshop and a 2-hour CEO breakfast, which is there on Facebook if you check. It'll be nice to spend time with her. This is somebody very interesting for the advertising agency industry. Philip Thomas is the CEO of Lions Festival. Lions Festivals are the people who organize the Cannes Lions Awards. They organize Eurobest, they organize Dubai Links and the Sphinx at Singapore. So they organize about 5 festivals around the world. The biggest one is at Cannes. Last year they had 14,000 delegates, and the numbers are going to rise again this year. They have it from June 21st to June 25th at Cannes.
He will talk about creativity matters and share with us, case studies, experiences. He will bring the Cannes show reel. I've requested him to bring one of the Cannes Gold Lion trophies. He says it weighs about 8 kilos. So it'll be difficult to get. A quick thank you and appreciation to our sponsors. There's Air Mauritius, Raj is here. Cocoon, I don't think anybody could make it. La Fontanelle is here. Logos Productions, Cyril, thank you very much. Sasha, unfortunately, could not be here. Our partners, Alexander Mann Media, Clifton Murray, thank you very much for being here. Beyond Communication, Virginie and yeah, thank you. Creax, Ravina, thank you. DB Vision could not make it today. Flower Ad, they'll be looking at the billboards. Focus, the people you see taking photographs, part of the team. Grace is organizing a super networking cocktail down on the beach, so please stay till the end. We're going to make it as fun as possible. There are going to be lots of prizes, lots of gifts, takeaways. Coco Up just called yesterday to say that they'll be happy to give coconut water throughout the day. Mahadev Mutu, Mauritius Glass Gallery, they will be designing the trophies to be given to the top 3 brands. Quantum, Kren and Sophie, thank you very much. Radio 1, thank you for coming. Seripolis is doing the printing for all the billboards. And Sofitel is our hospitality partner. They are taking care of all the logistics and arrangements. TNS Analysis, they'll be doing the research study and they'll also be contributing an article in the brand book. For more information, this is there. We've given out cards, so if there's anything you want to know, any further information, please get in touch with us. So, are you ready for the magic of the second Brand Magic Summit? Yes. I think you are. So, just to conclude, there will be some magic during these sessions. So, whenever a magician comes on stage and he says, "Come to open hands," and then you reach out into the sky, and then you say, "Hocus pocus or focus and abracadabra." This is what the Brand Magic Summit will. It will entertain you, it will educate you, it will enthrall you. Thank you for being here. And please network. There's some tea, coffee.